A few days ago, we talked about the things you didn't see and the crazy theories that the new Puss in Boots movie contains. I'll leave a link to the video in the pinned commentary in case you want to watch it. This time, we're going to talk about the bugs in the movie. This film has more bugs than the GTA trilogy. Don't leave the video because you are about to see the craziest mistakes of Puss in Boots 2. This time, we are not going to play Guess the Character. Today, we will play to find 2 mistakes, and the people whom find the second mistake and comment on it will appear in the following video. Let's start this adventure full of mistakes with a bug that appears at the very beginning of the journey of the puss. These scenes are primordial because they let us see how the feline lives his life. Apart from letting us see that, it also allows us to watch several errors that are big, but we didn't notice them. When the Puss in Boots is at the party, the guests offer their hands as stepping stones with the idea of lifting him up to go to the other side of the place. See these 4 characters? Well, 3 of them will magically disappear when the camera changes direction, and the man with the mustache teleports to this place. Seconds later, we look at another mistake. When the cat continues climbing, it steps on the face of a character and leaves a boot print on the face. But the print that remains does not match when the character stands up. The cat steps on the cheek and nose. When changing camera, the print is a diagonal to the eyebrow and forehead. Another mistake we overlook is when the cat starts to bring life to the party. We see an ice sculpture of himself. On the table, there are pies and a basket of fruit. We also look at a bucket that apparently contains apples. Minutes later, the cat starts to play the guitar and the table comes back into focus. It is then that we notice that the pies are gone and there is also a basket of fruit in the background that was not there at the beginning. And perhaps the bucket with apples knows black magic because it grew from one moment to the next. The time has come when you will show that you have Superman eyes, magnifying glass eyes, Spider-Man eyes, Super Saiyan eyes! Right now, you are going to find the first mistake. This mistake is very easy. It's easier than the table of 1. I'll give you a hint so that you can find it quickly. Stare at the cat. If you don't find the error, you can repeat the scene as many times as you want, and don't forget to comment your answer. Also, support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. But if you can't find it, I'll reveal the answer later in the video. In the scene where the kitten ends up with the giant monster, there is a serious mistake that you probably overlooked since it happens so quickly. The monster has a bell on one of its horns, and when it falls, the bell doesn't fall correctly. The bell should have fallen in the position it was hanging, pointing downwards, but it landed on its side when there was no way the bell could have been flipped that way. Now, I am going to show you 2 mistakes that happen in the same scene. When the puss is in the bar, we see 3 glass bottles on the bar. But when the camera changes perspective, the objects magically disappear. Speaking of magic, a strange magic happens when the cat drinks his glass of milk. As it is logically, the glass is getting empty because he is drinking it. Here goes the gigantic butt! When they show the other camera angle, the cat's glass is completely full! I think the invisible man entered this film uninvited and filled the glass again. In the previous video, we talked about a sad theory that the evil wolf stars in. The link to the video is in the commentary posted for you to go watch it. Today, we are also going to talk about this beast, as he stars in a mistake. The moment the kitty knows that the parka has come for him, he locks himself in the bathroom of the bar with the idea of escaping from the wolf and to feel safe as he locks the door. When the beast enters the place, he breaks the lock using one of his blades. A part of the iron of the lock remains on the door and the other falls on the floor. But in the next camera shot, they disappear completely. The part that was stuck on the door is no longer there, and the iron that fell on the floor disappeared as well. In the scene where the Serpent Sisters bring the map to Jack Horner, a mistake happens. In this course, the magic map shines intensely and constantly. The glow is so strong that it can be seen through the lock of the chest. Apparently, the animation team forgot a small detail because there are moments where the glow disappears and reappears, something that is illogical. We've come to the part where you will find the second mistake, but first I will reveal the answer to the first. It turns out that in this scene, the logic does not exist since the cat escapes through the sewer and swims in sewage. When he comes out, he is barely wet. The hat and cape are intact and totally dry. I understand that it would not be appropriate for this scene to be more detailed for obvious reasons. Even so, the mistake is there and should be mentioned. It's time to activate your Super Saiyan eyes again because now we are going with the second bug. This bug is very easy to find, and for this reason, I'm not going to reveal the answer. The person who finds the bug and comments it will appear in the next video. Take a good look at this scene where the kitten steals the magic map from the bears. If you don't find the mistake at first glance, you can rewind the scene as many times as you want. I wish you good luck! At one point in the story, Jack Horner remembers what his childhood was like, and through those memories, we can see that he would stick his thumb in a pie that is on top of 5 boxes. But when they changed the shot, now there are only 4 boxes that are holding the pie. In the burial of Puss in Boots, a rather silly mistake happens. At the moment, the feline places the hat and cape on the grave. He leaves a rose very close to the hat. However, when we change the angle, we see that the rose is a little far from the hat. And after a motivating speech that the cat himself makes, they show the grave again, and now the hat is magically even more separated from the cape and the rose. From what I can see, the Invisible Man is still bothering the kitten. For every angry emoji you comment, you would be saying, "Stop bothering, Invisible Man, or I'll tell Shrek!"
Wait, no!
You don't see this mistake at first glance. You have to think a little bit and try not to get carried away by the fun that happens in this scene. It is then that you will understand what the mistake is. When the Puss, Kitty, and Perrito are in front of the entrance of the portal to access the forest, Puss pushes the Perrito to enter first to see if it's safe. Then Kitty jumps in, taking Puss with her. I think you've already spotted the mistake. Something illogical happens with the 3 characters. They all arrive at the same time, when the correct thing would be that Perrito arrives a little before Kitty and Puss since he entered before them. Near the end of the film, we see another flaw. In the final fight that takes place on the top of the wishing star, the baby bear was about to fall outside the star and Goldilocks saves him with his cane. Right there is when the mistake happens. With his cane, Goldilocks grabs him by the chain around his neck. When she pulls him forward, we see that the accessories such as the nut and the fork are missing. The camera changes the shot and the accessories reappear. Even Goldilocks' cane appears with more pearls around it. The last one, and we're off! And because it's the last one, I will present a scene that contains 2 mistakes. The Puss runs away when he realizes that the presence of the evil wolf is on the battlefield and takes the path to the forest. Then, the Perrito chasing him picks up the kitty's hat that was previously not in that place. The hat never fell in this place. Something similar happens with the magic map. The map falls on a rock, but then is picked up by Kitty in a different place where there is no longer the rock where it was supposed to be. We have reached the end of this video full of mistakes and nonsense. Before I go, I want to make it clear that at no point in the video are we criticizing or are we saying that the movie is not good. We are just making these animation mistakes known as something curious. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is an amazing movie visually, and its story is simply fantastic. The part where they reveal the Perrito backstory gives a unique touch to this movie. Greetings to everyone who participated in the previous video. I am Ciara, and that was it. Bye!